Hey, this is Badu from Duluth, Brookdale Toyota. I'm here today to show you the 2019 Toyota Sienna, the most family-friendly van out there. Now, going into 2019, Toyota's actually added a few things. Safety sense and so on are standard, but they now give us the Wi-Fi capability standard throughout the whole lineup. So when you have the whole family in the van, you have the capability of that vehicle being a hotspot for up to 5 devices. A lot of safety features. Safety sensor standard, so it puts a gap between me and the vehicle in front of me in cruise control, warns me when I'm drifting out of my lane, can even put a little bit of corrective action to keep me dead center. Now, on these strips, I like the fact that you have the automatic high beams. It'll kick on your high beams until it senses a vehicle in front of you, then it'll cut them back down, they get out of the way, back to high beams, great visibility. So 2019, slightly refreshed look, different headlights, but still the same van, and that grille was changed mostly going into 2018. 3.5 liter V6, great horsepower, 8-speed automatic, so we actually have a vehicle that can get out of its way. It will tow up to 3,500 pounds, so you can bring that boat, the jet skis, cycles, or whatever else you need to bring along the trip. This particular one here is a limited, and it's a limited all-wheel drive. Again, Sienna's the only one right now that's offering you an all-wheel drive in the minivan. So for some of us in the Midwest, it's a great feature to have. Going into 2019, Toyota added that feature onto the SE model. So now you can have the sporty look, the 19-inch rims, and the all-wheel drive option also to keep things going when you need them to. Coming around the corner here, some nice alloy wheels, great looking fog lamps. And a lot of, this particular one here is our fully loaded model. So it's a limited with the all-wheel drive. It gives me the bird's eye view by adding the extra cameras down here. So we can kind of get a 360 view. Take a look at the inside. Limited just has all the nice touches. Extra wood grain from the steering wheel. We can get that heated, all around leather wrapped dash, and the heated and ventilated front seats. This particular one also has a few extra things like the DVD, the Blu-ray player, and it's on a massive screen. I'll show you that on the inside. Up to 5 USB, 4 of them will do 2.1 amp. But one of the big things about this here is how it works for the family. The seating here, Toyota gives us just about 4 feet of tracks here. So it allows me to actually move these seats quite a bit out of the way. So getting in and out becomes very easy. And once you're in, you realize that you can actually have adults in here very comfortably with an incredible amount of legroom. Now I can use this and adjust it as I see fit to give more or less room to the people in the back. And access to the back is also very important. What this vehicle allows me to do, slide the seats out of the way. So now I can actually get adults through that door very easily, getting into a massive back seat. Tiny little touches that Toyota adds here and there that make a big difference. Obviously these windows do roll down as you see here. And on almost all these models we have the extra shades that, so I don't have to worry about putting that Mickey Mouse sticker on the window anymore that just falls off every time. I've been through it, doesn't work. Coming around the back here, these rear quarter windows do open up. But take a look back here. This limited model gives me a little bit extra with that nice chrome piece to it. And notice the sensors that are built into the rear bumper. So lets me know as I'm getting close to an obstacle behind me. You can kind of gauge that very easily. We can add a hitch quite easily to these, and like I said, we'll tow up to 3,500 pounds. Now, Toyota was very smart too in how they designed the rear gate here. It opens up very nicely, but they designed it with this opening, with this bowing effect here, so that I can stand right under here and not worry about bumping my head. So if I'm here moving things around, or as I'm going to do here, folding the seats, I can do that very easily without having to worry about the gate. Now, when the seats are stored down here, you get an incredible amount of room. So we can make this a 4 or 5 passenger vehicle and bring everything but the kitchen sink. Now, one of the things that I like too is the opening here is pretty wide. So these pillars here are relatively narrow, so it allows you to have the maximum amount of cargo capacity here. Some other vans actually have these really thick pillars here, which impedes on your rear visibility and also robs you of interior space. Pulling the seats up is just as easy. Toss them forward. Here we go. So now we can switch back and forth all these different configurations based on how you and your family are going to use this vehicle. A lot of safety features with airbags that go all the way. And Toyota's added one of my favorite features in this car here is the ability for me to talk to the people in the third row. Because one of the things I never really want to turn around to yell at the kids because I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road. Well, in this one here, it will use the microphone that's in the forward position to actually play my voice all the way through the rear speakers. So I can just face forward and have a conversation with people all the way in the third row and kind of keep them involved in what's going on. Tiny little thing, but it's kind of a fun feature to have on these minivans. Now I'm gonna go inside and show you a few more things about all these changes that Toyota's made. I think you're gonna love this van. Now the Sienna just gives you a really nice driving position. So very good view of the road, very, very comfortable seating. In this particular one, the limited model, I'm getting the heated steering wheel, just all the nice features here. But it starts with a dual moonroof. Front and rear can be opened independently, and it allows a very good amount of light and fresh air into the vehicle, which is great on some of these long trips. Now from up here, I also have a lot of controls. I can open and close all of the power sliding doors and the power lift gate, and also control both of the moonroofs that we're just talking about here. It also gives me access to Safety Connect. At a push of a button, I can ask for help. And it can be in an emergency situation. When an airbag deploys, they'll send help my way after talking to me. But I can also use it along with the navigation system to have them find a particular destination and send it directly to this unit and have me just keep my hands on the wheel and focus on the trip. Now, auto dimming mirror, obviously, with the built-in garage door opener. And right down here, we have actually a pretty good size screen, very easy to read. Big buttons throughout, so very easy to control even if you have gloves on, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out which button I'm pushing, right? The typical home screen that Toyota does very, very well allows me to kind of just touch one of those options and it blows it up into a full size, and notice it's even showing me the flow of traffic right away on all these roads. Now that's also my backup camera, so the moment the vehicle is in reverse, it's going to show me what's directly behind me. And this particular model actually has the bird's eye view, so it can give me a 360 view around the car, which makes it really nice for one of those tight parking spots. Dynamic turn signal will show me exactly where I'm headed with the yellow line, and I can make adjustments and see do I want the wide screen or just the straight on, so you can really control it very easily from here. Down here we have our climate control. Again, big knobs, very easy to use as I'm driving, adjust the temperatures, and I can control driver, front passenger, and the rear, and synchronize any of them that I choose to. So if I want just the driver at one temperature and have the other two at different temperatures, I can do that as well. Right below that, we have more cup holders, so can't go thirsty in this car, and a lot of power supply options, along with my heated seats. Now right below that is my Blu-ray player, and directly underneath it we have an HDMI port that allows me to plug in a separate input to play onto that screen. Now the DVD player has the ability to show two different items on the screen. So I could have a Blu-ray playing and then another source through the HDMI playing something different. So if they want to watch different programming, you can, or you can just blow it all up into a large screen and do the widescreen format. Now while they're back here, power supply. If you look down here, we have an extra power outlet and then the two USB that are also 2.1 amps. And these are awesome for these newer phones with a large battery, as well as those tablets, and even more cup holders. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the steering wheel does have that leather wrap, and it's very soft, very nice feel to it, and your hands just fall in the right spots here. And a lot of controls on here for me to adjust the screen directly behind me. So get to the different gas mileage, and this is kind of neat too. The all-wheel drive monitor will show me how much power is going to each wheel as I'm driving. And after a while, if all these electronic aids are kicking in to help me, it will actually pop up and ask me to kind of take a rest, because it's noticing that the vehicle is really doing a lot to try to keep me on center. Now this screen is also what I'm going to use to get navigation information on here if I want, as well as the middle screen. But I can also use it to see my radio stations and then turn on or off again all these different electronic aids. So very easy to use, very easy to read, especially in sunlight. It's not going to be hard for you to see exactly what's going on. Now, a lot of the typical power windows, power locks and so on, all on the door. So one of the things that's really nice about this van is that it's very flexible. So as a family, you get to really decide how are you guys going to use it. Toyota offers it in a 7 or an 8 passenger. And if you pick the 8 passenger, the middle seat can actually just be stowed in the back. So you don't have to worry about leaving it at home. It's always with you. And whenever you need that extra person, pop it back in, 2 clicks and you're good to go. So a lot of flexibility in how you organize the seating. Excellent reliability, 3.5 V6, plenty of power to get the vehicle going and to also pull any of the toys that you may want with it. If you are looking for a family vehicle, really do come in and take a look at this. You can get dual wheel drive of the midsize SUV. You can get the same price point and have a lot more content. Come find us. I'm Badu at Brookdale Toyota, and I thank you for watching.